Okay, here's the Goldeners Park. There's the mountain goat. You back up a little bit here. Mountain goat of Goldeners Park in Maple Ridge, British Columbia, Canada, on Fern Crescent. Goes up to Alouette Lake, and we are going to go to the Spirea Nature Trail, which if you go up Fern Crescent here to the south end of the lake, just before you get to the south end of the lake on the right, you'll see a sign, Spirea Nature Trail. So we're going to do the approximately 1 mile hike for you and show you what it's like in the middle of winter. Okay, stay tuned. Thank you. Okay, the Spirea Nature Trail. Self-guiding, which means the signs that you see, for example, the one down there, you can read a story of the nature trail. And we will go on this tour. Okay, here's the Spirea Nature Trail on a nice, cool, rainy day. And there are actually people here. Cars and trucks. And I will show you some of the details. Oh, the nice benches have been taken apart. Here's a sign and a map and lots of reading to do. There's signs all along the trail. You can see them over there in the distance. It makes everything so beautifully green like this. Beautiful, nice green. It's an old growth stump with springboard notch. Right there, springboard notch. Here, echo of the axes. Here. There's the old train that used to take the logs in the 1900s. And the springboard notch right there on that big, huge, old growth stump. Logged around 1900. And wow, there's a nice peckerwood tree for the woodpeckers. A couple of them. Some more stumps. Lots of moss. Beautiful moss. This is actually a bog. And here's a hollow old growth stump. Very nice. So signs telling you where you are, so it's pretty easy hike. Now, the fire was in around 1910, and here you can see this old growth with the new growth inside. That's pretty cool. But anyway, it's all charcoal burnt to a crisp from the fire. That was around 1910. That was actually after this forest was clear cut. Look, there's a nice old growth stump cut off low, so they didn't need springboard notches, but then new growth right out of the center. Going way up there. Okay, now we come to the bog. Again, Spirea is a bog, and we will read about the bog in a minute. So, big pond here. You can see it's raining. Watch your step, these wooden planks are slippery. So nice bog on both sides with some water lilies in there. I don't think those are native, not supposed to be there. Invasive. Now there are carnivorous plants in this swamp. And if I see one, I will point it out to you. Here we are looking at the bog and a pond in the bog. Here, bogs are beautiful. Okay, so this is an acid bog and is formed from sphagnum moss, gardener's delight, often called peat moss. And because of the acidic water, only specialized plants can survive here, and the sundews are carnivorous, and this is a representation, I believe, of a sundew. And then some of the animals that live here, and then many different languages. And let's see. I don't see any right now, but we can come back later in the spring and find some carnivorous sundew plants. Actually, these stalks growing on the bottom might be the remnants of some sundew plants. Okay, anyway, this continues on for maybe a mile, but it's easy flat walk, more swamps to see, and I can see way over there on the other side of the pond another fence and part of the trail. Okay, continuing on in the Spirea nature trail. Very nice and green, raining, wet, moisture, keeps everything green. Sorry I cannot sit in the winter. I take the benches apart. That was actually one of my jobs when I worked here, was to redo the wood on the benches and stain them and shellac them. Nice and green. Okay, here's a map, shows where we've gone. Parking lot, we're probably halfway back, short loop trail. You can go back there, go back that way, or you can take the long loop, which is this way. I think we'll do the long loop today. There's no one else around here. It's very nice and peaceful. We'll give you the whole loop trail. Another burned out log. 1910 approximately. Old growth, probably cedar, although this is a hemlock forest. And here, look at all that nice, beautiful sphagnum moss all over the place. Look at it in the trees there. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful here hanging from the trees. Wow. And this is actually a hemlock here. All of these, oh, nice. So here's a nice little bridge over the swamp. And, oh, sign missing. Wonder what it said. Now in the spring, summer, and fall there would be bears in here. Lots of bears. Black bears now, but there used to be brown bears when I used to work here 50 years ago. But hopefully they're all hibernating right now. I don't think we'll see any. Or some people may say, unfortunately, we won't see any. Okay. Wow, there's something eating on that tree. Oh, kind of high for a beaver. Wow, my phone's working right here. It's getting all these messages. It's catching up on messages. Sorry about that. A lot of messages because I was up in the northern part of the park where there were no messages received, no phone reception. Now here's a well-chewed stump. Okay, so you notice I'm giving a narration of the story, but it's also making noise to keep the bears who may have woken up from their hibernation, let them know I'm here, and hopefully they'll get out of my way. Now there's a bunch of trails here. There's another trail going down there. There's another sign missing. Maybe they'll fix it by the time you come and visit this park. Okay, another bridge coming up. Again, it's often raining up here, and these wooden slat bridges are very slippery. So be careful when you're walking over them. Plus they got debris on them, which means that makes them even more slippery. Okay, there's a beautiful little pond and a stream and some animal prints in there. Maybe even a human print. Looks like there is maybe a shoe. Hard to say for sure, it's pretty muddy. Okay, anyway, here we are continuing the trail. Now this here is the horse trail, I believe. But we are going to continue back to the parking lot and the main Spirea nature trail. Fortunately, it didn't rain too hard, so I didn't get too wet. Hardly wet at all. My hair is a little wet, but that's okay. Okay, another bench with the seat and back missing, being refurbished in the shop at the park headquarters here. on the way to Mike Lake. Here's another little swamp, very nice. Beautiful little swamp. See the raindrops on the water. Okay, there's a western red cedar tree right there. And here's a hemlock tree. This is a hemlock forest. Very nice. There's the other end. We came over that bridge a while ago. And here we are at the other end of the pond where it is raining on the pond. Car going by. Okay, now here's another sign. This sign's still in place. Looks like it's been refurbished recently. Okay, our wild places. There are many things we gain from our wild places. We find beauty, tranquility, recreation, and the knowledge that the rich diversity of life is protected in our parks. Can you picture what might have been here 500 years ago? Well, here's cougars. We still have those. Wolves. I've seen a few here. Wapiti or elk. I have not seen here, but apparently there's a herd Kanaka Creek and at Pitt Lake, etc. So anyway, all right, nice little pond. I think those may be sundews starting to grow up in the middle there. Those stalks that are coming out will flower into sundews, carnivorous plants. And here we are walking through the hemlock forest. Most of these are hemlock trees here. And you can hear the cars going by, even though it's raining. The park is open and there are a fair number of people here, but there's nobody on the trail. And we're heading back on the second half of the journey back to the parking lot. Okay, I guess when you come in the spring there'll be more signs. These will all be refurbished, hopefully. There's an interesting one, but it needs to be refurbished, obviously. It's in the shop on the way to Mike Lake there. Park headquarters shop where they're refurbishing. There's another old burned out hemlock log. Okay, here's another swamp, bog, you name it. Another bridge. And again, these are acid swamps. There are alkaline swamps with different creatures and different types of moss and different organisms that grow in them, but this one happens to be an acid bog, which famously are the peat bogs. And here you can see ferns and sphagnum moss. Okay, what's happening here? The tall moss-covered shrubs leaning over the water are called Pacific ninebark. They grow in open areas and attract clusters of white, or have attractive clusters of white flowers. This pond may be becoming a bog because something has killed these shrubs. Was it the acidic water? Had they just lived out their natural lives? Or was it something else? Well, I guess we're supposed to decide, but looks pretty boggy to me, and I know most plants cannot live well, including trees and shrubs in the bog. You're in water. They can't get enough oxygen to their roots then. Okay, we're on the last bridge of our tour. And again, the beautiful mosses, sphagnum moss, all different sizes, colors, beautiful colors, wet, raining right now, usual way here in this area of British Columbia. Well, there's a lot of cars there, but nobody's come on the hike. That's interesting. Okay, so we will probably end our hike and our video here. So the Spirea Nature Trail. I will take you over to the sign in a minute.